back to Between the Ribs with Jonathan Morris on Florida Man Radio.
That was very awkward during the break. I got stuck under the table. I had to press my bladder down so I could get out from underneath the table. That's bad, right?
That's a problem.
December 16th can't get here fast enough. I'm really looking forward to this one. I pray to the good Lord I'll never go back to the hospital after this surgery. I am tired of getting stuck. I couldn't imagine the people. I really sympathize for the people that are like chronically ill and they're always at the doctor, always at the hospital. They're always going in for a treatment or a transfusion or a dialysis. I don't want a needle in my body ever again. I never want an IV. I just don't.
I would be the worst drug addict ever.
Gosh.
I can't deal with, yeah.
I mean, the last two, the knees were just so bad, and then going back and spending 10 more days there, and they don't know what they're doing. They're just playing with you and poking you like a science project. Our medical system is disgusting in America. It's absolutely disgusting. Our hospital, I mean, we got great doctors.
You should probably save the doctor hating until after your next surgery.
Yeah, let's pause that until, I get out of the surgical center. This one's supposed to be outpatient, so we'll see. But, all right, before we get to Pam Bondi and some other stuff that we want to talk about, free speech, open speech, lies that are still going on in the classroom, let's talk about me, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Because the goodness and the hoodness is the meat. And we're starting to do a lot of videos on that. And we're going to start doing like some partially training videos, I think, Heather.
Okay.
Where we'll break a brisket down and then we'll explain to people how to properly prepare a brisket.
That is a great idea. I love it.
You know, I mean, the simplistic way right now, I'm going to give you the speedball because the holidays are coming up. We have a lot of people ordering brisket. And they're like, well, I don't own a smoker, or I don't have this, or I don't have a pan like you have. Well, I heard I got to wrap it in a bath towel. I heard to wrap it in butcher paper. I heard to put it in a cooler.
Wait, a bath towel?
Yes.
They're not cooking it in a bath towel, are they?
No, they're not. But there is a thing online that I've seen where they tell you after you smoke the brisket to pull it out and you wrap it in butcher paper, the white or brown butcher paper, and then wrap it in a bath towel, a clean one, and then put it in an igloo cooler for a day. Well, if you have to do that, you don't know how to cook. I mean, I'm just going to say it. If you have to do all that to eat a brisket.
That's like doing the dishwasher salmon. That's just not the right way to
dishwasher
cook.
Salmon. Mm-hmm. Oh, I think I don't want to even talk about that. That's nasty. I thought you were going to talk about mop sink chicken, but you're talking about when they cook the salmon in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
That is so gross.
Yeah, no. Cook the right way, people. Come on.
Yeah.
You got an oven.
But I'm going to go through a brisket real quick. We're going to be real fast on it. So if you want to get a good brisket, first of all, you need to buy a good brisket, good quality meat. If you buy it from us, you're going to not have any worries. Morris Family Farms Organic Meats, 407-402-5686. You're listening to this show Saturday. If you can get a message in today, we can get you a brisket before Thanksgiving, even if you're in Fort Walton or Georgia.
Or before Christmas.
Definitely before Christmas. So you take your brisket. A lot of people make this problem, or they make this mistake, and it turns into a problem. Is that a Heine? You drinking a Heine?
Yes.
Pop the top on a Heine?
Yeah.
No alcohol on this show. Only Red Bull and what do you drink, say, Alice?
Oh, this is true. Vitamin C, ginger, and cayenne pepper.
It's not called Cialis anyway. What's it? Celebrate?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
What's
Let's talk about that
brisket. What's the other drink you used to drink?
Oh, Celsius.
I
still have some.
All right. So you take anytime you're going to cook a big piece of meat, it's just like the man in the cold swimming pool problem. You know, you get a little bit of shrinkage, right?
Okay, yeah, no, talk about the brisket.
The women don't understand, but there's a shock shrinkage factor sometimes when a human with 98-degree body temperature jumps into an ice cold swimming pool or whatever. It's a little bit like, whoa, didn't know we were supposed to do that. All right, the same thing happens when you take a piece of meat out of your refrigerator at 34, 35, 37 degrees, whatever you keep your refrigerator at. I keep mine at like 34 and a half. And you put it into a 400-degree oven or a 300-degree oven.
It goes from cold to being hot. It
really
shrinks.
fast. No, but it locks up. It goes into shock because it was that cold and you immediately introduce it to that much heat. It goes to a shock factor and it toughens up because it's like, hey, we're not supposed to do this. So I always recommend everybody to pull the meat out an hour before you're going to cook it. So put it on a pan.
Oh, so the shock factor is bad.
The shock factor is bad.
Okay.
You do not want the shock factor.
Okay.
So instead of preheating your oven and then pulling the meat out of the refrigerator, you put your meat out on the counter in a pan. I take the plastic off of it, if it's cryopacked or if it's butchered wrap, take the paper off of it, let it sit there, let it get to ambient temperature.
Okay.
So an hour, hour and a half, it depends on how big the meat is, but hour, hour and a half, let it get to room temperature. The other thing I do is I season it while it's cold. And we're very simple, salt, pepper, garlic, a little bit of onion, and then as that piece of meat starts to warm up to room temperature, it starts to sweat a little bit. And the pores in the fat start to open up. And then by doing that, it allows that seasoning to soak all the way through the meat. Now, this is a different recipe than if you're going to brine it for 2 or 3 days. If you're brining it for 2 or 3 days, you've already brined it and the seasoning's all through everything. But I'm talking about taking a raw piece of meat out of the refrigerator, run your seasoning through it, let it sit on the counter, then preheat. And I even do this now when I smoke. I roast on an open fire or in the oven on the roaster, 450 degrees for an hour. And that allows the brisket to char and get a cap, a nice sear on that fat cap.
Okay.
And then it sears everything in. And then I add a little bit of juice that I made from the fat trimmings and the seasoning, and I pour that into the pan, and then we smoke it at about 300. Well, this is a brisket now because the brisket has to break down. You have to break down the muscle in the brisket. We smoke it at 300 for 6 hours. So it's a 7-hour cook plus an hour out of the refrigerator. So it's about 8 hours altogether.
So in an Instapot.
In an Instant Pot, no, you can do that. A lot of people do that. They crock pot it.
No, Instapot, not crock-pot. We're talking 22 minutes.
You can cook a brisket in 22 minutes in an Instant Pot?
Probably. We took.
You want to try it for us? You got a video,
Sure.
record it.
Absolutely.
Okay, but how big is your pot? Like how much brisket? Can you put an 18-pound brisket in there?
Oh Lord, no.
5 pound?
18 pound. I'll try. Yeah, 5 pound.
You
Probably.
can put 5 pounds? Well, find
Probably.
out how much you can put in your Instant Pot.
I will find out right now.
And I will cut you a brisket, and then you can do a video of Heather doing an Instant Pot brisket.
All right.
All right, and you have to let us know. You have to video the whole thing. It going in the pot, how long you cook it for, if you have to cook it longer, and how it eats, how it pulls, how it shreds, how it tastes.
Okay.
Now, do you want us to season it at the shop with our seasoning, or you want us to
Yes.
season it?
You do it.
All right. So I'll give you after we do the show today, I'll give you the brisket. Find out how much you can put in your pot, and I'll cut it. And then you can take it home.
I'm so excited.
I am too. This is going to be cool.
Okay, so we're gonna take a 7-hour bake down to what? We'll find out.
Your guess at 22 minutes. You want to put some money on this? You want to wager?
I don't have any money, but yeah, let's do that.
Let's wager next week's paycheck.
No, let's not.
Come on, it's the holidays. Why do you need money?
No.
Do you know I saw that these stupid people, they're saying, and this is how stupid they think you are. They're like, how dare Trump say he's going to fix the economy, and they're talking about laying off half the government workers right at the time of the holidays. And it's like, wait a minute. Trump doesn't come into office until after the holidays. They're still employed by Biden right now, the people who are working.
Oh, so no, Trump has nothing to do with
So
this.
Trump's not laying anybody off before the holidays.
Yeah.
That's how asinine the media is. And that's why I don't know if it's official, but they're talking about NBC selling off the people I can't talk about. What's their names?
MSNBC
Those people. I don't know how.
selling off their.
They're getting rid of them.
all
Supposedly
news
they're selling.
station?
No, supposedly NBC is selling. There's some type of deal they're trying to distance themselves from MSNBC because of how far left.
I was gonna say, is it because a news station shouldn't be like one-sided?
Right, and they should. You're right. Yes, they have
That's
finally.
awesome.
They have finally woke up and realized. Oh, we're supposed to tell the news.
Oh, we're not news.
We're not news anymore. You mean Morning Joe's not a real show, and people are tired of tuning in? Oh, now we'll make some adjustments. We're gonna go back to just NBC.
And you can find your news elsewhere.
It's so
But
stupid.
we're still gonna tell you what we want you to believe.
Right. It's so stupid. It's just, and there's so much going on. We did a video about can Trump get to office fast enough because it almost seems like Biden's trying to invoke World War III, and they're trying to damage and do as much as they can. And while, though, we have a peaceful transfer of power.
I was just going to say, but it's going to be so peaceful.
So peaceful. Unlike last time, this is peaceful. Unlike last time, remember, Trump didn't do this for Joe, but Joe's going to do this for Trump.
Oh, that's nice of him.
But in the
what an outstanding man.
Right. But in the meantime, we denied an arms deal to Israel, and we gave another $2 billion to Ukraine. Oh, yeah, and we sent missiles. Oh, but now we're not going to let them fire them, but maybe we will let them fire them next time. But are you kidding me? It doesn't stop. It goes on and on and on and on. But for the Democrats out there listening, Hakeem Jeffries got reelected to the head Democrat in charge. I don't know what role he plays, though, because we won the Senate, the House, and the White House, right? So why does that matter? Do you know?
Checks and balances.
Okay. All right.
They both the Democrats and Republicans have to have
Their head guy. Right. So our head guy has to go to their head guy.
Can you imagine if they didn't have a head guy and then all of them decided, nope, we're gonna argue this, and then all of them, it'd be crazy.
Oh yeah. So a bunch of monkeys humping a football. That's how our Congress would work.
Yep.
I want to go back to the days when they slap each other. I disagree.
Take off their white glove.
I disagree with the gentleman from Arkansas, and I challenge him to a duel. The gentleman from South Carolina concedes. Have you ever watched one of them? Mm-mm. They're really ridiculous. I think they're awesome. But anyways, that's our government. All right, so the other thing we got going on, we did a prime rib. Did you know, Heather?
I might have.
That not only can you have a prime rib, but you can also have ribeye steaks all out of the same piece. The rib loin is magical. It can be steaks, or it can be a roast, the prime rib roast, or cut into ribeyes.
You know, I never would have known what you were talking about until watching you cut meat and learning about this.
Right.
Because meat was meat. I didn't know if it came from the cow's butt or shoulder or
where it came. It was just meat.
Yeah, it was just meat.
All right. You know, a lot of nations and a lot of cultures are that way. Some Indians, Muslims, different people, right? They just cut up a cow and eat it. America is really one of the biggest places that I got to have my ribeye, I got to have my filet, I've got to have a T-bone or my New York strip. Most places are just I've been in a slaughterhouse where they cut for Indian, not like American Indians, but Indian people and Muslim people and not Hindus because they don't eat meat, but just other nations. And they come in and they order the cow and they're like, I want it cut up 2 by 2. They don't want ribeyes and T-bones and porterhouses and chuck roasts.
They just want it squares.
They want 2 by 2 so I can put it in my pot. And they cook everything together and eat, and they don't waste nothing. I'll tell you this. We'll talk about this when we get back. You buy a cow as an American, and I cut it down, break it down, and give it to you. Or you buy a cow as someone from another nation, and I break that cow down and give it to you. Who do you think gets more meat in their freezer? We'll be right back.